Welcome to the Open Books Podcast, where we discuss all things going on in the real estate industry, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success, guiding you to the top 10%. Thanks.
So
I'm your
proud of you.
co-host here with my other co-hosts, Casey Tudor and Brooke Massey, and myself, Curtis Haddock. It's very nice to be here with you guys this morning.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
We're going to be here either way. So.
I wanted to introduce you guys first, and I totally started to mess that up,
It worked, dude.
But I got you guys last week, so.
I'm
That's
just very
right.
impressed that you memorized the intro and remembered to introduce us first.
Yep, I don't have a board in case you guys are wondering what they're saying. Which they probably were, and also don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, or you could just come in, we're just authentically us anyways on this
That's
podcast.
true.
So
That's true. Are
And you
guys-
should be too. You should be authentically us as well.
Yeah, you should authentically like and comment
Yeah.
on every streaming platform there is.
usually, when we're going to talk about it today in social media, because that's what we're talking about, but
I
that's
thought we were
not
ta-
a great way to
just
get
kidding.
followers.
You will say what?
That's not a great way to get followers. It's just telling them all the time.
Well,
Right. It's not.
okay.
It's true.
I still would like them to do it.
So what should what should they do, Brooke? Or what should we do?
We're just going right into it today.
We're
Man,
going
I
right
was gonna see
into
how
it.
you guys
No,
are doing,
well,
what
let's
you-
talk
what
about.
you're doing.
We're talking about the simple social media activities to boost your real estate career, because I feel like this is a huge topic, and even us. I mean, we're just talking about right now. There's a lot of simple things that you can do that I think people forget to do. The biggest thing that I like to say is it's social media, so be social on there. So for us on our podcast, I mean, we just need to be more social with our followers, first off.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
Reaching out to people and reaching out to people.
Well, kind of the first topic that we're talking about within this is engage authentically with your network. So what do you guys think that means when I say that?
To force engagement.
Yes.
Be yourself and be real.
Yes.
And
Yes.
don't try to take on a persona that won't last, because
Or
people
that's
will
not
see
you.
through it. Because there's so much information out there. What people need is they need value, and it's hard. I mean, everyone's kind of doing the same thing. So what you have to get them is results.
Provide some sort of value. Don't try to be something you're not. As in, like, don't say you're an expert in something if you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about and you're just giving your opinion.
Yeah.
Essentially. And to that point, here we are talking about social media. Go look at Casey's social media, Brooke's social media, and go look at my social media. And I think it'll be very clear at who's the weaker link in the social media game. And so we had to throw this episode in here to boost Casey and Brooke's confidence.
Yeah,
Thank
so we
you.
could talk more,
Yeah,
not
so-
Curtis.
Well, I think there's we're going to draw a line today on what we're really discussing, because if you're talking about like actually doing social media to help grow your business, it's a job and there's a formula to it.
Full time.
It's
And
an algorithm.
you have to understand that going into it. You don't just post things and hope things work out.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've not really started down that realm yet, because I'm not prepared to commit
some teaching.
100% yet,
Yeah.
because I've got so many clients. We've got so many agents that need help every day, and I'm already working a lot. So until I get to that point where I'm committed 100%, I'm just not going to do it. So what we are going to do though today is talk about what you can do to at least get started to engage in the people you do
Well,
know.
like the simple things like Brooke said that you can do, even though you are busy and you're not treating this as like this is like my full-time way to try to get business.
Oh, I did this. Social media was really kind of my, not saving grace, but my meat and potatoes almost when I first got into real estate, because I had a full-time job. I didn't have a lot of time. I could do open houses on the weekends. And then I had a very big sphere of just people that I've just maintained throughout the years. And so social media was something that I was able to get on in the morning and do these simple tasks every single day. And it really helped my career kind of take off, if you will. at that point. And I think a lot of times when people think about social media, it's a lot. But Casey, you do really well with your social media.
Well, thank you.
So, like, I don't think you really need to do that much more. But again, you could level up for sure. But I think that's what people get confused on social media. It should just be very, very simple, especially if you're just starting out. Even if you just have you just got a Facebook or just got an Instagram or whatever. They're all the same. Everything that we talk about today, they're all very, very similar. But I forgot what I was going with.
Well, I was going to say to that point, like to kind of build off of that point, like if you are new, if you're just getting started with social media, and you just open an account, like again, go look at my social media, and you can build a successful business without being great at social media, or like don't stress yourself out over like social media.
So many people come in. We had a girl come in today to potentially come to our brokerage, and she was stressed out about social media, and she was like, do I need it? And we were like, no, but there are tools and simple things that you can do if you want to do that. But at the same time, I know plenty of agents that make a lot of money and they're nowhere on social media.
It's an asset, and I think that everybody should learn it and utilize it. And to that point, like it for me, I for sure can do so much better at social media. And one of the things I was going to actually pick your guys' brain on today, and I bet you there's people out there listening that feel the same way. I am not a look at me kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm not like living my daily life and thinking, oh my gosh, I want to share this with people.
So what's all those selfies in the bathroom about?
That's a good point. You don't want to know. Okay, you'd be really jealous.
I feel like
sad,
the only pictures that you have posted of yourself are ones that April posted.
Yeah, and I actually don't know if are there any of myself. If you go look, I mean it's usually my kids,
mine are very
like headshot.
I mean, yeah, if it's my headshot, then it's like a profile picture.
I only have selfies if it's with my kids. That's it.
I don't even take selfies with my kids. Every picture with my kids, April took for me, or somebody took it for me.
Well, I don't have that. I don't have a photographer following me around.
Well,
I don't either.
I do, but she doesn't do great.
Your professional photographer wife doesn't do great.
She does great, but like her and I just don't take pictures together.
Yeah,
we actually talked about it the other night. I was like, we are terrible. We only have one professional shoot, and it was our engagement photos, and then we have our wedding photos. But that's it that we have of us.
But what can somebody do who's in my situation?
Let's just get started.
Well, where you absolutely like your first thought in your daily life when something crazy cool happens, or you're in a once in a lifetime experience, like I'm not thinking I want to share this with other people. I'm thinking I'm going to enjoy this experience, and I'm not a big picture taker person, video recorder person. And so like, what advice would you give somebody?
I'll tell you where to start.
Like me.
I'll tell you where to start. And this isn't actually for you because you don't do these things, but if you're getting into real estate and say you've already got a couple hundred friends or a couple thousand friends on your social media or followers,
big difference.
Go through now this is just my opinion, and you can choose to do what you want, but I would just be prepared. If you want to really push an agenda, you better be prepared to back it. And what I mean by that is the first thing I would do is go in there and take any kind of political post and pull it off of your Facebook and like personal opinions about certain things that could cause an uproar, get them off, because you want to become more neutral up front. Now, if you want to be like hardcore Republican or Democrat on your Facebook page and that's like your thing,
and that's your niche,
then fine. That's okay. But just
be prepared.
Don't think the first time you post something, if you're posting on the Democratic side and you post something, you're losing half of the business you could have gotten from the other side. And when I'm selling houses, I do not care what party they're affiliated with. I care which house they want to purchase. So
they are going to look up your profile.
Well, and I'd be careful too with that. Again, if you want this and there's nothing wrong with it, at the same time, like, just be careful, because what you post and stuff, that is your social media, and people go and find you and they do look you up all the time.
Yep.
So you also don't want to make a negative persona about you and your brand that you're putting out there publicly, because you never know when you could hurt your clients at that point. You know,
Yeah.
you could get all these Republican sellers and have these listings, but then all of a sudden there's these buyers that are really, really strongly Democrat, and they go and look for those types of things, especially homes. Like, I always have clients all the time, and they get on the cameras and they watch everybody. Or I sold my sister a house once, and she knew every single thing about the previous homeowner. And so people definitely look at that type
Yep.
of stuff.
You know, I think too, like, so people and this is just, again, this is also my opinion. I feel like what I see with social media and people is one of two things. Either it's a platform for you to just be bold with your opinion and to share your values and beliefs at your core, or people are trying to become the next big influencer, and everyone believes that they can become an influencer and that they're going to become famous, or that they're going to have all these followers, and that's going to be their full-time job, is they're going to make money off of having a huge platform or audience or clout or whatever word you want to throw in there. And I think that when you approach it from that mindset, and I just feel like you're losing that authenticity part of it, because then you're only posting like certain aspects of your life, and not, you know, that you're being choosy at I guess, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, and you guys have a good point, and I think that's a good point that I'm gonna bring up about social media is people are also intimidated because they know all of those things, and so they're just terrified to even post it all at that point.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, you could post a picture of your fluffy puppy dog, and somebody's gonna hate puppies and dislike you for it.
Yeah. I
And
almost
so,
think,
like, it's just something like you have to get that out of your head.
yeah, I almost think like if you can get over that sooner, and almost, you know, not post like you know, super far leaning, like what's the word I'm looking for, extreme viewpoints, but if you can find a way to be neutral, but post something that gets a rise out of people, like, you're going to get a lot more engagement and people who are commenting, and then you can engage back with them, and you know, and then your stuff will start showing up in the algorithm more, you know. But there's a certain, I don't know.
I think that's a fair point.
Get to that point though, because it is an algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay. And going back to, it is social media. Okay. So what do we do in real estate? We go out there and we make relationships. We go out there. We have to be social. We have to go meet people. Social media is meeting people, but online. So it's kind of the same thing. So with the algorithm, like, you have to go make a relationship. You need to like, comment, and share their content, right? If they're posting about their kids, I'm commenting about their kids, and I'm asking them another question to get them to respond back to me. So it's very simple stuff like that to get it really up and going at that point. Liking and commenting, I mean, just being interactive. Make a relationship. Go find 5 people every single week, or 10 people. I think 10 people would be good every single week on social media, and go to their profile, like a couple of their pictures or their videos or reels or whatever they're doing, or the things that they share, and then go comment on those things. And then if you want to take it a step further, send them a direct message. If they have like a story up, respond to them on that. That's what the algorithm is looking for. They're looking for, oh, Casey over here likes to talk to Curtis, and Curtis talks back to Casey. We're going to make sure that everything Casey and Curtis post, they see each other's posts.
Yep.
So that's how the algorithm works. Just like if you go out and call somebody, and I make a relationship, and I didn't do a very good job of making the relationship, and I try to call them again and they don't answer, well, then I just need to move on to the next one.
You're like, I'm going to stop calling that person.
Yes, yes.
But then, so why did you say, because this threw me off, and then when we first started, why did you say we don't want our followers to like and comment on our stuff?
Oh, because I said,
I know we need to be more like social with people.
I always say just stop being so salesy sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because like if you're like in real estate specific and you post this, call me, text me.
Yeah.
No one's going to
Yeah.
call you and text you.
I mean,
right?
it's
Instead-
fine. You can do that. It's just not going to provide you the result you think it's going to provide you.
Right.
Or don't make it like, don't do it and just think that that's all you got to do.
Yeah, and don't post it and be like, why put call me and text me? No one called me or text me. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's more than that. No one's just going to call you and text you just because you posted a house or something. And so just like this, we joke around all the time and we tell our followers to like and subscribe, which is probably part of a podcast. But at the same time, how many of them are going to actually do it without us providing value for them?
Yeah. So some tips and tricks that I do that has been pretty successful for me to stay top of mind, which is really, I don't do any ads or anything on social media yet. Because like I said, I haven't committed to going down that road yet, but I just use it for top of mind. So I
Yep.
keep my page neutral, and two things specifically that I do is I go through the happy birthdays. I don't do it every day, but if I see it as a reminder or something, I'll go look at it. And then I'll do one or two things. If I don't have their cell phone number, usually I wait till the day after their birthday and then wish them a happy belated birthday, because
Smart.
I'm going to be the last person who's wished them a happy birthday unless everyone steals my trick. And then the other thing I do for the birthdays is if I have their cell phone number, then I text it instead of on Facebook. And then it's crazy how they're like, wow, you remembered my birthday. And I'm like, no, not at all.
Take it a step further just to be social media, because I love the text message. I think everyone should just text message. But if it's just social media, direct message them. Do not post on their wall.
That's good too.
Take it a step further than that.
Direct message them and text them.
No, direct message with a video
Oh, yes.
and say happy birthday.
So
hope you have a great day, and then send that in their direct.
The one I like to do is for all my male friends, I like to send them I like to send them the GIF of like the Chippendale dancers dancing, and it's wishing them happy birthday, and they're like, oh God, thank you, thanks for that, you know.
But
So
no,
you talking about the Rescue Rangers? Is that what you're talking about?
The Rescue Rangers, yeah.
Oh, cool.
The other thing that I do is I pulse check my clients and my friends on Facebook, meaning when I'm looking at who liked or commented on my post, it's funny because I'll think like one of my clients hated me after closing because they didn't have a good experience or something.
Yeah.
But then I notice that they're liking all my posts. Okay, so they're not mad at me. Cool.
So you think?
So I think, or they're just like, I like it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do that, and two, if I see people engaging or posting or just liking or hearting something I did, that will trigger me to go, oh, you know what? I should probably call and check up on them because they were thinking about me recently. So maybe now it's time for a phone call.
yeah, it's making a good plan though too, because sometimes if you're just on Facebook, you start to see the same people over and over and over again. Like I have over 4,000 friends or whatever on social media, but I'll see the same 5 people all the time.
Right.
And so that's where the algorithm kind of not dries up, but kind of dies a little bit. And that's where
Okay.
you need to go find some other people so they can start.
How do you
coming
do
up on
that?
Social media, the like, comment, and stuff. What I said just a minute ago.
Would you
go find 5 or 10 people every single week and make it a purpose to get on social media? I always like to try to find like people I went to high school with, somebody I played sports with, somebody I used to work with at another job, and I try to make it very random and different at that point.
Yeah, I'll go through my friends list too, and I'll notice like people that I haven't seen.
Yes.
And then I'll get on their page and I'll start commenting on some stuff to get them back in the game.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Well, if you think about it, you kind of mentioned this, like when you see people liking and commenting on your things, and if you hadn't spoken to them in a while or didn't even know that they were, still on your radar, and you get that from them, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Like you feel like, oh wow, I didn't realize that person actually saw my stuff or looked at my stuff. So
Yeah.
we hesitate to do that to people that are way in our past, or that we don't engage with very often, because
They
it's
follow.
like, well, what my point is that we personally hesitate to do that because we think, they're not part of my life anymore. They don't care, this and that. But even if they don't care about like you being in real estate, like, you can still engage and interact with them, because it's going to make their day just like it makes your day.
Yep.
When you get the same thing. And even if they don't care that you're in real estate, like they might know people that do care that you're in real estate and
Yeah.
can use
Well, and
your services.
Facebook, like if you go comment on somebody, say hypothetically, because this happens all the time, say you commented on someone I went to high school with forever ago, you guys just randomly knew each other. Well, then all of a sudden their stuff's popping up on my feed, and so it's the same thing. It's just an algorithm. So I always just say don't put too much thought into it. That's the problem I think that most people have with social media is they think too much.
Yeah, just start
just-
growing it. Like, do one thing. Like, start with the birthday thing, right? That's just a
Everybody
little
loves it.
habit, and you don't have to do it
It's
every
totally
day. Do it
easy.
once a week. It doesn't matter. Just stick to a plan and start growing that plan accordingly. And I think the biggest mistake we all make and do is because people are like, "Oh, social media is ruining our lives." It's like, well, it could actually enrich your lives if you do it correctly.
Yes.
If you choose to doom scroll and just scroll and scroll and scroll, you're getting nowhere. And so allow yourself to do that because that's where you can pop in and engage, but give yourself a time limit.
Well,
Like
people-
5 minutes a day.
Yeah. That's what I did, like in the morning before I got out of bed, or what. It's not a good habit, but that's what I did, and it was beneficial. But yeah, people just put too much pressure on it.
I know I do it. I'll admit. I mean, I overthink it sometimes, and it's like to the point where I wait until like, man, like if I'm gonna say something or share something, it's got to be gold, you know. And I just need to get over that.
Something that you said earlier, Curtis, you were like, I like to just live in the moment and be present, and I totally agree. And whenever I finally quit my job and went full-time real estate, I started having less and less time to do social media.
Yeah.
And so, but I knew I needed to still post things and different things like that because I gained some good followers. So what I always do now, if I'm going somewhere, I just know I have to make a subconscious note. Okay, I need to take a picture and at least a couple videos really quickly. And I just take them and put my phone back in my pocket, and then I keep enjoying the present, and then you can always go post it later.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of social media. It doesn't matter when you post it. You don't have to post it when you're at the event. A lot of people do that, and I know I've even had to kind of get over that, but just like Casey texts happy birthday the day after, I seems like I always get more likes and stuff like that after the fact, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like birthdays and different things like that, like people like to feel good. And so if you are sending a direct message on social media or even a text message or both, you are standing out compared to everybody else. Because what does everybody else do on social media on their birthday? They post on their wall. I know I had a bunch of people post on my wall for my birthday, but there was so many I couldn't even respond to any of them. So like I don't even know who told me happy birthday. But if someone sends me a direct message, that'd be the only person that did that. And so you're standing out at that point.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, just achievements and different things like that in general. If you have, if you closed on a house this year and then you added your clients on social media right after that, right? And they've been following you. Well, their home anniversary comes up. Wish them a happy 1-year home anniversary. Those things go a long way. Praise goes a long way with people. It's always about how you make people feel. If you can make people feel good, they're going to remember you.
Yeah, especially if it's something that no one else is recognizing or remembering.
Even if it was a terrible contract, like Casey said, and you don't think it was going good or whatever, and saying that a year later, they're probably not going to remember that. But if you said happy birthday or happy home anniversary, they're going to be so excited. And then you never know that day, they just may refer you their best friend. Mm-hmm. So,
well, and I'm a energy absorber. So like if people are upset, I take it to heart, and I do take it personally. So it's I'm like, oh my God, they hate me. But really, they're just really pissed off about the situation.
oh yeah. Well, and we care a lot.
Yeah. It's true.
Sorry, Casey. I just had to do it.
But I get so I would probably say I follow my numbers and everything, and I think I'm probably like about an 80% networking. That's where 80% of my business comes from, which includes social media. But I have to say that that's not just something that everybody can just jump in and do, and it takes time, and it's something really that like I have always been good at. I've always kept my core group of friends together the only reason we've been friends since we were like 4 or 5 years old is because I've always arranged the barbecues and the night out, and that's the only reason we've really stuck together for so long. And so I, that's not something you can't really just teach. It's kind of, or my wife hates this. Like we'll be in Target or something, and I'll like look down the aisle and I'll be like, "That's Bobby Fisher from first grade. I'm going to talk to him." And she's like, "Please don't, please don't." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going." And then he's like, "Holy crap! It's Casey Tudor," and everyone remembers me because I was a twin. And so they like everyone knows who we are. I guess that's kind of a cheat code there because
I mean it is.
We were lucky enough to do that. Yeah, it's not muting. So
you tried.
it's this.
Oh. Can't do it.
So anyways, but yeah, so those are things that I've always been good at and always have done. And so I've always kept kind of a following, if you will.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done that and you're into real estate and you want to get on social media, then you better become this person. Yeah. And now you're starting late though, right? Because so you have to understand that every realtor needs 3 to 4 income streams that they master. And and then usually you're going to swing to one. You're going to be better at one of the others, and you might choose to
I think it's
line
a couple, and you'll be doing
get
great.
a couple of them. Yeah, and you can either choose to maximize those or take a step back and try to master the other ones that you haven't quite accomplished. It doesn't really, that's kind of a future thing, but you have to have those different areas because your networking isn't going to get you business tomorrow. Which is why you need to go sit open houses. But then you connect all of them. If you're sitting in open house, you post it on your social media. Mm-hmm. So
social media is a long-term nurture.
It's a never ending process.
It's never ending. And if you're just getting into real estate, unless you have like a big sphere, because that's kind of where I got it. But social media is not going to be where you're going to get your deal this month. So finding those 2 to 3 income producing activities, like also think about when those income producing activities give you the fruit that you need. So like open houses and stuff, that gets you people usually pretty in the next like 2 to 6 months, probably. For sale by owners expires more immediate. Social media, networking in your sphere, those are people you have to nurture for a long time and usually take several months because Curtis always says this, that especially if you're new, they don't trust you yet. You just got your license and your sphere is just watching you and seeing what you do at this point.
Yeah, the best thing you can do as a new agent, besides getting started on social media, is mastering the transaction. And the only way to do that is to get clients and get them to closing. And so the best way to do that is to go out and find out where people are buying and selling right now. And that's typically for sale by owners, expireds, and open houses. And this is no secret. There's a reason that these are very, very common income producing activities. But so you do those, and then that's how you learn the transaction. You learn all the objections. You learn how to handle them. You learn how to deal with people you don't know. I mean, that list goes on. And then whenever your network starts turning over, then you know exactly how to represent those people that are coming to you on social media.
Yes.
And they'll think of you as the expert too.
And then you're the expert. And they learn that you're the expert through all the things that you posted.
I have a question for you guys that hopefully, maybe you could, I think it'll provide value because it'll be valuable to me if you can answer this question. What's the difference? I know what the technical difference is between your story, posting on your wall, reels. When should you utilize those as what you're posting to?
I'm gonna let Brooke take this one.
One over the other. Like I've always avoided stories because it goes away and I don't like it.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's like, what's the point of? It takes such effort for me to get something of content that I want to even put on social media, and then I want it to just disappear.
It's a story that doesn't stay on your storyboard. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I know I'm not the only one who feels that way.
So stories and posting. So the best way I can explain it, stories are more like for your actual like followers that are really paying attention to you. And you have to kind of create that a little bit, because you can't just have a story and then not post a story for 30 days.
Yeah.
So stories you have to be more consistent with.
Okay.
Because otherwise your followers will drop off. I've done it many times, and I'll get like 400 people view my story, and then the next time it's like 25.
Yeah.
And so, because I haven't been consistent with it.
Right. Okay.
So,
That's good to know.
Yeah, stories are more like your close people,
So
if
maybe
you will.
don't go to the stores until you are actually going to be more engaged with it yourself, as far as like consistent with it.
Yeah, as far as like posting it, yes.
Yeah.
So, but your story, you can post anything. So, like,
Well, sure.
I'll share stuff from Instagram. Like, I love sharing like quotes and different things like that are like positivity. Or I'll share OKC Talk here in Oklahoma City. They always post all the new stuff that's coming out. So I'll post that, but then I'll go post about my dog, or I'll post about a house that I went to. I just show people what I'm actually doing, basically, and actually paying attention to. So to me, stories is more personal than just posting. Posting is like, here's a general update, and here's what happened, and here's the major highlight of this.
Now, if one was going to be making videos, let's say, like
TikToks and Reels,
like we're
and all
just
that.
recording a video, like maybe educational purposes or whatever. Like, is it better to do that as a reel? Is it better to just to post it? Is it like what would you suggest?
I don't do a ton of Reels and stuff like that. I would say if you're going to make a video like that, I do know that you get more views if you do it as a like a reel or a video or a TikTok or whatever, versus if you just post a video.
Sure.
Because the whole point of Reels and TikToks and stuff is to capture audience outside of your sphere.
Well, couldn't you if you did it as a TikTok, couldn't you could still share it on your other platforms?
You
right?
could, but now you're just sharing something.
Okay,
So
explain.
you're not playing with the algorithm, because they're all the same and you can share within each other, right? But if I post a TikTok on TikTok, then TikTok's going to recognize that algorithm. That it's
Sure.
they're actually using my
Okay,
platform.
then don't share. You can post it on each platform.
Yeah, post it in each platform.
Okay.
That's usually what I do.
I think what you want to pay attention to just get started, I would say post a picture of your dog, post a picture then of your kids or your family, then post a picture of what you're doing for fun, and then post a picture of a kitchen. And like that way you're changing it up, you're keeping people engaged, you're not annoying them with one thing. I think the ultimate goal is you want to track who's liking, how many likes you're getting. If you post, I've been really interested in something before and posted it and thinking everyone's going to like it, and I get one like. And then I'll post a picture of my baby and get like 500 or 600 likes, right? So my baby gets me more engagement than the picture of the guitar that I built that no one cares about.
Well, it gets you more engagement that you can see.
Right.
So, because I've also done that, and then I go out and I meet like a whole bunch of people that day, and everyone brings up the post that nobody likes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
and I'm not saying that it's wrong. I just think that what you want to create in the end, what you really want to create is for someone to share. So
yes, because if they don't like it, then you're not messing with the algorithm.
And if they share it, they're sharing it to their entire network, which automatically puts you in front of 1,000 other people immediately. And so you want to try to find posts that you're doing that are getting shares and maybe do some more like that, and just paying attention to those things will help you.
Yes. And something too that we haven't talked about is personal page versus business page. So this is a big one, and I know there's actually more than that. Like Instagram has like a professional mode and I don't know, there's like 7 different modes. Not really, but I feel like there is. But let's just talk about just in general personal versus business. So there's pros and cons to both. You're going to get more interaction on your personal page than your business page. Your business page, and I don't even think you need to create one at all. If you're starting out in real estate, or even if you just want to focus on social media, like I wouldn't even worry about a business
Especially if
page.
you struggle like I do, like just do it.
one.
Just keep it simple. Like we're saying, keep it as simple as you can. And just be consistency is more important than being complicated.
Yes. So
Yeah.
like, and then what Casey was saying, we always say post 3 personal posts to 1 business post, because if you go to your personal page and you just flood it with nothing about real estate, people stop following you. People follow you because they want to know you.
Yeah.
So
All they care about is selling me a house.
And there's-
you know.
yeah, call me, text me.
Yeah, there's a guy that I follow though that actually, I don't really. The issue I think is I don't really know what his game plan is and what he actually does, because it's Frank Driscoll. You guys know that guy?
Maybe.
He's the one who's like, he posts a picture of a crazy kitchen, like all pink. Yes or no? That's it. He doesn't even comment on it, but he's got hundreds of on every single post, because every time you see it, every time you see the picture, your brain's going, oh my God, look at that. You know, it's like,
you want to give your opinion on it.
It's like those quizzes, right? Of like where I'm going to be next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to be married and have 5 kids and a millionaire.
Yeah, and the point of me bringing that guy up is now I'm talking about him. I've shared his stuff, and it was super, super simple. So everyone can do that, right? Just go to a house that you're showing and take a picture of the kitchen, or grab one of his photos. He doesn't own those photos. Grab one of his and share it on your page and just say yes or no. And that's it for the day.
How do you know he doesn't own some of those photos?
Because he pulls them off some other real estate website. I know he does.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But a business page, Kyle Draper, he's a pretty big social media coach in general, and he talked about a business
Shout out.
page. I know. Where's our call me, text me? We need a
Where's that
sponsor.
money?
We give a lot of free shout outs here. You should engage with us if you want a free shout out.
Well, no, but he's a really good person. If people really want to get into social media, he has a lot of good stuff, and that's where I've learned a lot of social media and stuff from too. He brings up a business page. If you're going to do that, that's some people like that because, like as in clients, because they want to go see the professional you, not your dog or your kids or whatever that you're into.
Yeah.
And so I do get that. So I personally have a business page, but I also have a CRM that I pay a monthly fee, and it just automatically posts to my page. And so I get, people do see it, and I do get whatever like leads every once in a while from it, but it's just a persona, if you will. My personal page, that's where I do everything, and I talk to everybody, and I get the majority of my business from.
And you got to be genuine, but you also got to be interesting too, you know. And it's not that complicated, but you do have to put a little bit of effort into it. You can't just be like super dry and boring, and you have to provide commonality and value to your clients, and I mean your family and friends too. So that one time I was sitting with Curtis, he did a recruiting call, and or he was texting, and she said that she might be interested, and so me and Curtis were joking, and we started quoting Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance? And she says, so the only reason now I'm going to meet with you is because you quoted one of my favorite movies. You know, so that's just engagement at its finest. Finding a way to be different than everyone else, just saying, hey, you want to meet about my brokerage?
You just related to them without even knowing it, right?
Yeah.
But you related to them because you were just authentically yourself, and then you just connected with them on that level, or you made her feel a type of way.
Yeah.
You know.
So if you don't have millions of movie lines memorized, you're probably just not going to make it in real estate, is really what I'm trying to say here.
I promise you, I know no movies. Casey talks to me all the time, and I just look at him like deers in a headlight. So, and I do okay.
It's funny when people quote movies that I don't know. I'm like looking at them like, what?
Yeah.
So but I do it all the time. I'm like, surely they got that.
No, but consistently sharing personal updates and stories. I think that's kind of what we're going into. Like, just be yourself. Like, if you had a big achievement or your kid had a big achievement, post it, right? People are going to relate to that. They're going to love it. You're making a look at me. I don't know.
No, I'm waiting for you to have a break in your conversation, because I was going to ask a question.
Ask it.
Do you think that people should care or think about what time a day it is to post?
So That's a good question.
Because there are times
In the
where
beginning,
I
no.
think I'm like, ooh, I want to post this. I'm like, ooh, I want to wait though until, it's a better time of day.
Again, I kind of go into like just be consistent.
Okay.
Just be consistent. But I go back into social media just being so overwhelming. It's such a huge animal. You can get on. Oh man, my mind just went blank. But there's a little thing.
Calendar.
Meta Business Suite.
Yeah.
And where you can control your Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. And they have like insights, and it tells you like if it was men or women or what time, and here's the race, and it tells you so much info and data, and that's usually good. And I tried to follow that at the beginning, but then again, it's just too much. We have so much more other things to do. I'm just trying to get on there and provide value and connect with people and just be social on social media. And
Then you can tweak
so-
from there, right?
yeah, and just tweak it from there. Just start. You don't need to do all this other stuff. It's like a CRM.
So if it's
But-
7 o'clock in the morning and you think of an idea like, oh, I'm going to post that.
Just post
Would you
it.
post it?
Just
Yeah.
post it. I try to think every once in a while. I try to think about when people are on their phone. And so, like,
But nowadays, isn't it?
It's
like,
all day.
it kind of is. And so
Especially
that's why
between the
it's
hours
like-
of 9 and 5.
It's just
Right.
like post it. Well, I do think like between like I probably wouldn't do 7 a.m. to be quite honest. I'll take back what I said.
Well, that's why I asked. Because
Yeah. And I'm like, well, because I just wanted to get the point that just post it. Who cares? But I try to think about when people are on their phone.
But if they're trying to grow their business, I mean, I feel like that they should care a little bit. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm about to say.
Okay.
And so I try to think about like, okay, when are people up? People usually wake up around 5 or 6 in the morning.
Not
Yeah.
me.
Most people that have 9 to 5 jobs, and they have kids and all the things, and they got to get the kids ready for school.
Not me. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I know Casey didn't make eggs.
yeah.
Nope. My kids eat cereal
I
and
mean, April makes that.
Pouches.
You don't get up that early.
Well, she also doesn't have a job. Well, she does.
Yeah, she does.
But not like 8 to 5. Anyways, but I think about it like people get up from like 5 or 6. What do people do? They immediately get on their phone. I have always found that that's when a lot of people are on social media, and I've gotten a lot of responses at that time. Then usually about 6:30 to like 9 o'clock, I would say, people are driving to work. They're getting ready. They're in a bad mindset. Get them into work. They're checking their emails. And then usually about 9 or 10 o'clock, they're like, okay, well, let me look at all of this now. And then they get on their phone or lunchtime, or I try not to post during like dinner time. People do get on social media before they go to bed between 7 and 10 and 11 p.m.
I have a question for you, Brooke.
Yes.
So I saw a picture or a video of Jack Black being all crazy, as he does, especially in his prime. And I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I got to show Claire. And then I went out to the living room and I opened the app back up and started scrolling. And all of the videos were completely different from the last time I opened up my phone.
Weird.
Well, they change it like literally almost every time you open the phone.
I was hoping you weren't going to say weird and you're going to say, well, that's because.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much.
Yeah. Well, they change it up.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
change the videos every time, but they're videos that they think you will stop on and like.
Yeah.
Based on probably what you watch.
There are times where I'm
an algorithm
where
and
I'm
stuff.
watching a video and then I something comes up and I have to stop but I want to finish that video
Yeah.
and I literally it's been
Should have saved it.
like a minute.
Yes.
And I'll get back on and when I try before I can try to watch it, it refreshes to whole new videos.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But
Yeah.
But if you, but there are times where I'll make sure it runs long enough because I want to come back to it, and then it's in your history.
Okay. Yeah, I usually just save it or
Yeah, you
share
can
it.
save it.
Yeah.
Share it to myself or.
It's an algorithm. I mean, TikTok's a whole nother like topic. I feel like
That's
just,
that's
'cause it's
that's like
just
that's
videos.
that's Facebook. That's Facebook.
I mean,
want,
it's all the same. It's
Yeah.
just they do it with videos.
So let's talk about. This is probably is not on our deal, but there's 5 things that you have to think about when you're posting.
are those?
Or when you're receiving, like when you're watching, like what are they trying to do? So they're either trying to inspire you to do something or aspire, so you can aspire to be like them. They're going to educate you. They're going to entertain you, or this is an interesting one. Pets. That's number 5.
Ooh.
So if you ever notice the little pig that's licking the carpet has 10 million views.
Yes.
because everyone, for some reason, likes to watch a pig lick carpet.
Listen, I'll lose hours watching cat videos.
Right. So that's my point. And so,
I know.
but those are the 5 things. Those are the 5 things that your videos or your posts have to come across.
Yeah.
And so, or if you're going to start coaching or start a YouTube channel or pushing out content, what are you trying to achieve with that video? And I think that will help you with the post.
And
that you
that's
do.
why Casey's in charge of our podcast. With
Well,
posting.
don't look at our followers.
We're still new, okay?
we're
being
educating.
consistent. We're being consistent.
True.
Something else too that I always use to just help. Like you don't just need to do it by yourself. Like tag other people, tag local businesses and community events and friends. Or if you go to a networking event, tag a bunch of people in there. That because when you do that, then like usually like local businesses like title companies. I love when I post my little picture, we just closed, and I tag the title company. Maybe I'll tag the lender on social media. Guess what? They're all going to go share that. And then once they share it, now I have access to those spheres as well. And so it just helps me grow. So just another way to kind of give you some help to kind of boost that algorithm a
Yeah.
little bit.
And then once you get started, like you never really want to stop as long as you're in business, because
Yes.
there's a guy that there's a lender out there that I've known for forever, and I'll even unsubscribe, and I like the guy, but I'm not going to use him.
What's
Yeah.
his name? I'm kidding.
And he's a great guy. He's just not for me in the lending world, but he's so good at follow up and social media. I've never gotten away from seeing his name.
Yeah.
And it's kudos to him that he took it seriously, grew that, continues to grow it, and I mean, to be able to see someone's name for 15 years, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Especially when you're actively trying to avoid it.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't hit the unfollow button.
That's funny.
That's really kind of pretty much. Oh no, this last part is being responsive and accessible. This is something that I suck at terribly right now because my business has just grown. But if you're gonna go on there and start asking questions, like respond back. So like I always tried to use social media, like I would respond to it like it was my text message. I would go check my text messages, I would check my messenger, I would check my Instagram message, and then I would go check my my notifications on social media, because I want to be responsive. And then like one thing that really gets me is those stories, they go away, right? I love commenting on people's stories because it sends them a direct message. And so, but if you don't respond very quickly, that story goes away. And if you responded to 10 people and you just had a full day of all kinds of stuff and saw a bunch of other stuff on social media, you don't remember what they responded to, and then it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So quickly respond. But really, guys, just make it simple. It's very, very simple. Just get on there and be social overall. And you don't have to go make all the fancy videos and different things like that. Video is the way of the land, I guess, that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
But there's still very effective ways to do that without having to do videos, because I know videos are very intimidating for a lot of people. Something as like a tip, if you guys do want to get good at videos, and I actually did this myself, and it actually helped a lot. Kyle Draper actually came up with this as well. But he said, just record yourself. If you're just by yourself or whatever, record yourself for whatever you want to say. Just mess up. Don't post it anywhere. Just record it. And just get used to yourself being recorded on video. And then that slowly kind of boosts your confidence, and you get better and better at it to where you can just post it after that.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I'm looking at Would You Rathers. Curtis is networking.
Me
Hey,
too.
I wish someone a happy birthday while we were on the podcast.
did you?
Yeah, because it popped up on my Facebook while I was scrolling. Okay, so would you rather wear Dolly Parton or Billie Eilish's wardrobe for the
Ooh.
rest of your life?
Oh, well, duh, Billie Eilish.
I would look awfully silly in Dolly Parton
Yeah.
get up.
I was like,
Yeah.
They're a little
I was
tight,
like-
Yeah.
little tight.
I don't think that was like
Little
a
low
Billie
cut.
Eilish.
I would do Billie Eilish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
She just came
that's-
out as like,
Then that's a terrible one. Yeah,
she just
right.
came out as like, I don't know if she's,
Okay, would you rather smell like feet or smell like eggs?
ooh.
Rotten egg.
Oh.
Feet probably.
Yeah, that was my first.
That's bad
bet.
too, dude. I
They're
used to
both bad.
I used to hang out with a guy when I was doing audio production, and his feet smelled so bad. My house would smell like it for a day afterwards. It was so bad.
Yeah, they're
Listen,
both bad. That's a lose-lose.
I think rotten egg, because rotten egg is like Sulphur, Oklahoma. Like I can deal with that.
No,
I can deal with it.
I can't. I mean, we've talked about this. I cannot do smells. And when I used to work at the grocery store, there was always one customer at every single store, because I worked at multiple stores, and every single store had the same customer, and they just had no clue how bad their BO was.
God.
And it would be so bad that other shoppers would avoid this person. And you knew when they walked into the store because you could smell them across the grocery store. And grocery stores have pretty distinctive smells. Like,
Hey, what
there's
was
the
your
deli, the meat, there's all kinds of
what
stuff.
was y'all's policy about returning like canned goods?
I mean,
Can you do that?
yeah.
Okay, so
Unless you just brought it back and it was all dented up. And
okay,
stuff.
so the reason I asked, and this is random, because I used to work in a grocery store too when I was young, when I was 16, and there was this lady. She would steal the cat food. First of all, she wore like this big giant coat.
She probably ate it for herself.
No, she would.
I had a
She would
customer that
return it.
thought like that.
Ew, but she would return
And then
it.
we had to jump her car. Anyways.
Oh my God. She would return the food, and she said the same thing every time. Kitty didn't like it. Kitty didn't like it. And then so we couldn't argue with her, so we just returned it.
Yeah. I would too.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah, at that point you have to. If it was me though,
So
like,
weird.
I would have a conversation with that.
You need a new
client and
kitty.
Be like, hey, like we can't keep doing this.
I'm gonna need you guys to pick the would you rather.
I did.
Oh yeah, you said right now.
Well,
Right.
what did you choose?
Yeah, I chose feet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you chose. I
Yeah.
chose feet.
I'm choosing eggs.
Ugh.
They're both bad. It's a lose-lose. I don't. You know.
I think I'd
but
hang out with Curtis.
Would you rather be able to
think
run
feet.
on your hands or write with your feet?
Oh,
run on my hands would be really cool.
I
Well, since I don't run very often, I think I'd go with that.
Yeah,
I
would
showed
run on my arms.
last night. I showed Theo. We were talking about feet. Or so I don't even know how it came
I
up,
don't
but
write very
basically it was like, dude, you know, people can like do all kinds of things with their feet, and he's like, what do you mean? And so we started watching YouTube videos. So he is now seeing someone paint, cook a full dinner, and play the piano with their feet, and his mind was blown.
That's crazy.
And they're all really good at it. And then she's eating it, you know, with her toes. She's like, 50,000
Man.
views, you know,
That's
no
hilarious.
problem.
That's
All right, well, this
hilarious.
just got weird.
Like, there's your lesson in social media. So start doing it with your feet, and you'll.
Oh,
I
you'll
mean,
blow
that's
up.
that's
You'll
yeah,
blow up.
totally. We
Yeah.
should do that. We should sell real estate with our feet.
And he's like, why are they doing that? I'm
I
like, because they don't
really-
have arms. And he's like, what?
I really think that
I'm
I'll
gonna
tell
go
you guys
door-
after.
Oh.
Okay,
Anyway,
this is gonna
I
be
don't,
good.
I don't want anyone. I don't want to give our idea away to anybody. My
Okay.
idea.
Okay,
My idea.
fair. You heard it here, folks.
they don't even
Curtis's
look at it.
idea.
I have an idea.
All right, guys. Well, we made up for last week not doing Would You Rather. So we did 3 today. So you guys can tell us what you would rather do. And I hope that we helped you guys get your journey started on social media. Don't overcomplicate it. Just make some simple posts every day and engage with your followers, and, you know, add some friends here and there, and you'll be good. And,
And
you know,
don't like or comment.
yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Actually,
Yeah,
you know
we don't
what?
want
Don't
any of that.
want it.
Actually, what you
Okay?
can do is watch this video till the end, which we could have told you that in the beginning. But the biggest thing y'all can do is actually share the video with your network, and that will actually be huge. So
And how about I would say give us some feedback. You know, what do you not like?
Yeah.
What do you like? You know.
let's chat. We'll engage. We told you we would, so we will. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna sign off. My name's Casey Tudor. This is Curtis Haddock and Brooke Massey.